Well, hey guys, welcome to podcast episode 451 episode. This movie about the Crucible movie. This movie about Act 1, the opening Nation Springs, the catastrophe of Sarah Massachusetts, and the particulars of the planet of Massachusetts Bay with the naval defense of in distant democracy and constant conflict with Native Americans. The narrator surveys that the lack of civil representations missing from circumvention lack of stability in Massachusetts caused deterioration which contribute to the event. Continuing to play. Legamado at one are set in the attic in the local. Peter Summer Paris, his 10-year-old daughter, Betty Paris' wife, Missouri. The previous evening, using Paris discovered Betty some other girl, and her missing sweet tuber dancing naked in the forest, and Sybil gave to some sort of ritual. The village is with rumors of witchcraft, and a crowd gathers outside. With Paris' house, Paris becomes concerned that the event will cause him to be removed from his position as the town preacher. He questions the girl, Gabriel Wendell, his niece Abigail Williams, where Paris has been forced to adopt after her parents were brutally killed in Cambridge War. Abigail deceived they were engaged in witchcraft, claiming that they had been dancing afterwards. The Waddy and International Thomas Mason and his wife Anne arrived at the missing offering period, missing reveals that he was have fathered Nathan John Hill, an expert in witchcraft and democracy to educating the reef to address the crowd. The ungirls involved in the innocent joined Abigail and a briefcase with Betty who attempts to jump out of the window. Abigail returns and drives the others to second her story of dancing in the woods. The other girls on a flank of the two being revealed and actually they try to using codes and give Elizabeth better and being Richard so they go along with Abigail Betty then tips back into unconsciousness John Butler and Google Former and husband of Elizabeth Turf. He sends the other girls out, including Mary Warren, his family maid, and gives them girl who tells them that the young girl will not performing witchcraft. It is revealed that Abigail was what as a mission up for the battle, and that she and John had an affair for which she was fired. Abigail still harbors feelings for John. and believe they are convicted by John leaves the Abigail angry about John for denying his true feelings for her. As they argued upon the sound of the moon that still, Buddy both upright and began screaming. He repaired once back into the bedroom, and Phyllis visitors arrived. Thomas in his wife and expect a good moment about a note, and the harm neighbor farmer gives Curry the photo who had not heard the argument. He assumed that the setting up the bomb by the photo in the room below had caused Buddy screaming between them soon. The most massive burden is a person 7 times over to blame with Crab for her worship, and Buddy represents that much more miserable. The black guy said Dr. could be called that Mr. Nixon and Curry have been fighting over land ownership. Curry is unhappy with his salary and maybe can continue as minister and as his battle of handing a better to cut him from the church. Abigail standing quietly in the corner, menacing of this. Mr. Hill arrived and began her recognition before leaving. Gill faithfully remarked that he had noticed his wife reading unknown books and asked Hale to look into it. Hale questioned the parents of Abigail and discussion could be over the girl's activity in the woods. As the fashionable Abigail claimed to force her to drink blood. The kitchen star Abigail begged her to consider deadly cook. Parents trying to reduce her to death. If she does not confess to witchcraft, Tuber breaks down and claims that the devil is bewitching her and others in town. Rape producing from Hale and Bishop Tuberculosis, Sarah Alborn and Sarah Good of witchcraft. Mrs. 35 Alborn as her former my wife, and resolved that she must have killed her children. Abigail decides to play along with Tuber in order to prevent others from discovering her affair with Predator, whose wife she had tried to cut out of jealousy. She will begin missing widely in name, missing in good as well as Bishop have having been dancing with the devil. Betty suddenly rises and begins rescuing Abigail's movements in words. And Mrs. George Jacobs as the school's courses. Now we continue with the wizard have order the rest of the named people. The safe for judges to try them. Act 2. In a second narrator, the narrator compares the county to post-World War II society, mixing between voluntarism and being superior to cultural norms in both the United States and the Second Union, considering fields of taking place after the Europe and the colonies are compared to fields of cannibalism following its representation in Western Europe and China during Cold War again. No one is not present in person. The mother are at two if said the Rachel home. John and Elizabeth are taking that nearly 40 people have been arrested for witchcraft based on the pronouncement of Abigail being other girls. John knows the person and others of witchcraft are better as Abigail told him as much when they were alone together in the first act, but is unsure of how to confess without revealing the affair. Elizabeth is disgusted with her husband was alone with Abigail. She believes John still was after Abigail and tells him that as long as he does, he'd never redeem himself. Mary went into and gave Elizabeth a puppet, though a puppet, that she made in court that day while singing as waitress. Mary tells that they did not have been arrested so far, considered as missives, and they might be hanged. Mary also tells that Goodwin husband will be hanged, but Sarah Girl's life is saved because she confesses that she made in contact with the Sexton Tournament Christians agreed that Mary is listening duty. John dreams to be her married so that she is now official of the court. She must have to go there on daily basis, and she saved Elizabeth's life that day as Elizabeth was cautious of witchcraft and was to be arrested until Mary spoke in her defense. Mary refuses to identify Elizabeth, but Elizabeth soon asserted that it must have been Abigail. She forced John to go to the court and tell the judges that Abigail and the rest of the girls are pretending John is, revealing that doing so will inspire him to publicly reveal his past misery. But he arrives, learning that he is interviewing all the people named in the BC including Elizabeth. He mentions that Rebecca Nurse was also the name, but admits that he doubts her with due to her stream using do his business that anything is possible. Here is skeptical about the battle, present to Christianity, not thing that they do not tell the truth. Mercury and that one of the three sons has not been advertised. John implies that this is because he has no respect for his times to Leviticus 10 make an amendment. John faithfully forgets to set not within Dottery when he crosses her. Elizabeth is concerned that he does not question Abigail first, aware of how busy her appeals to take his leave at Elizabeth Uncle John tells Hale he knows the girl's confessions were fake. When Hale responds that many others have confessed, John points out they are bound to be hanged if it did not have basic acknowledge this point. Certainly, Gareth Courtney and Francis Nuts entered the house, and upon John and Harold on both up their way, have been arrested on charges of witchcraft. President Martha Curry for reading of business books, and the backup nurse has been suspected of sacrificing children. A person fled by car concealed however the town vessel town having arrived soon afterwards, and President warrant for Pacific Red must to hail supply. Dolphin picks up the puppet on Pacific's table and finds the needle inside. He informs Dawn that Abigail had a pain visit earlier that evening, that the needle was found stuck into her stomach. Abigail claimed that Elizabeth stabbed her with a needle with witchcraft using the puppet as a cousin. John brings Mary into the room to tell the truth. Mary said that she made the daughter stuck the needle onto it, and that Abigail saw her do so using it on Christmas and appeals to arrest Elizabeth. John becomes the reason turning around to Swift and adjoining Harry and Jill with a mess until Elizabeth comes down and sort of herself. He calls Harry the crowd and asks him why missing every instant goes on John's hair is different, but just that perhaps the person has befallen Cyril because of great secret crime that must be brought to light. Taking her to heart. John orders Mary to go to court with him and oppose the other girl's life, and she protects between will on John's affair. She warns him that Abigail is willing to propose if necessary if John is shot, but ultimately not too much overall, whatever the implicit calls. Act 3. Now, third act takes place 37 days later, in the several court of Syrian during the trial of Meta, Curry, Festus, and Gil's disability throughout the independent to be heard. Now, court is receiving the men thrown out of the main room, recovering the resident room. John Butler arrives with Mary written day from Deputy Governor Tedford and George Anthony Button Girls wife. Tedford then informs on where John and Elizabeth is pregnant and promises to spare her from execution until a child is born, hoping to persuade John to withdraw his case. John refuses to back down and submits the Stephenson sign signed by 91 locals himself to the good character of Elizabeth, Rebecca, Notes, and Mother Curry. Eric also Jeff John Turtwith as well. The person is dismissed by Pierce and Harry F. Regal, within her Genesis decision and demands to know why the citizens are forbidden to defend themselves. Therefore replies that given the visible nature of witchcraft, in the world the original there uncliff cannot be trusted. He then orders that all 91 persons named in the conception be arrested for questioning Curry Smith its own Jefferson Citizen Thomas was enforcing his daughter to George Jacob in order by his friend as Griffith wishes have to prevent all the property when asked by Anthony to reveal the source of his born Mason Gill, with him fearing that he or she will also be arrested. when different friends Ham, Westport, and Captain Grell argue that he cannot be arrested for correcting a hearing, therefore then declares in court. Johnson and Gale is arrested. John submits Mary to something with details that she was concerned by paper by Abigail. Abigail declines Mary and consents that they are pretending and stands by her story about the puppet. When John's by parents and listen to pretend to be possessed, Mary too is too afraid to cover John Tapp's Abigail's character, believing that she and the other girls were caught dancing naked in the world by Vincent Perry on that the night of Betty Perry. Vincent with when Daphne begins to question Abigail, she claims that Mary has begun to be with her in cold wind, and John resists his temper, calling Abigail her whore. He confesses the affair says Abigail was far from his household over it, and that Abigail is trying to murder Elizabeth, so that she may dance with me on my wife's grave. Therefore begins Elizabeth into Capone's story beforehand, forbidding anyone to tell her about John is unreal to John's perfect confession. Elizabeth feels that Abigail has revealed the affair in order to discredit John arrives, saying that Will was no affair, and that she followed Abigail out in the wild. Sebastian Hill brings Stafford and to consider his judgment. Now granted Abigail is full, but to know unfair Stafford was out his technical base, so we upon John's earlier mention that Elizabeth would never tell a lie. Jefferson and Elizabeth began to overtake that room. Abigail and the girls run about screaming Mary's spirit is attacking them in a former yellow bird with nobody else. It's never to see when Deborah tells the resident that just for Mary that he will insist her to hang she joins with another girl. And Vincent all her other gets them, including John, but Doctor forces her to turn her against the others, and that he harbors the devil John despaired and having given up their hope, declares that God is dead, and he is rested with resistance hair descendant the besieged and Christian court. Act 4 takes place 3 months later in the town jail early in the morning, when they are sitting on sale with Sarah Good appears to have gone insane from out of the missing Henry forces and are now actually claiming to talk to San Marcel who expressed to having arrested so many his neighbors have turned to organism. Many verses photos have been changed with witchcraft most have confessed and been given religious terms in their property sized by the government. 12 have been executed, 7 more are to be hanged as a survivor for confessing to confess. including John Bartow, Baccano, and Martha Curry Crew were tortured to death by President court tried in vain to bring due by holding out God unsure that his son will receive his land. Jefferson Fellow have become until so many people in prison and dead, and with the arrival of a new rebellion, give the court in nearby and over Massachusetts whisper around of the uprising and with the American faithful of the controversies still prescribed series aboard a ship to England with Missouri. Therefore, the nation had returned to share to meet with Paris and are surprised to know that he has returned and his meaning with the concerned Paris who has lost everything to Abigail reports that he has turned death strength. He begs therefore to postpone the execution order to Scott. Confessing hoping to avoid tension on scoring some of British most highly regarded citizens had David Wexford and braving himself. For the material have returned to Castle the question to Buxley Cafe. In avoid acquisition he persevered therefore to pawn number 7 and put tower behind them. The versus starting the pawn Bottom therefore versus starting the pawn or approximate would have doubt on the same previous constantly heading. Therefore inherit Samuel Elizabeth and asked her to visit John to confess. She is better to hair both for dubbing her oil than meaning John to give in and ruin his good name. But agrees to speak with her husband and we say goodbye. She and John have kissing discussion doing with Jacob him already out and confessing. John says he is confessing to confess not out listen confessing but to consent for his prison court. The two family considered Elizabeth forgiving John and sending by the that he cannot give himself, and she his own goodness, knowing in his heart that there is one thing for him to do. John agrees to basically cover to recently in witchcraft, deciding that he has no desire or need to be a wizard. Therefore, noting and a visitor asks John to testify to the guilt of the old house, and the executed John Person saying he can only report on his own signs, therefore is supported by this. Material but then arguing of Hill and Pierce allows John to sign many concussions to be displayed on no church door. As a example, John is really digging his Bible discussion is missing a press hand photo. John basically resigned by basically to hand the paper over Donnie he does not want his family. And basically his three sons to be sacrificed by public confession they may argue to about to run out her confession with ripping up the signed document that will call the sheriff and John is ready to be hanged. Facing Arden missing rebellion, missing and Pierce missing went out to beg about her if to confess held guilty over John's death. Mr. Elizabeth to talk John around, but she refused. John and John have found his goodness. Alright guys, this episode, alright, that's it. Bye.